1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Everybody hear me? I hope sound on now. Great, everybody hears me. So on. Hello everyone, I am Dmitry Grasimov, CEO of Celframe, and today we are going to talk about latest news, and that will be about security audition, development progress, launch of the mainnet, and what happens afterwards. And let's start with news about preparation for the mainnet network launch. First news. First, I want to say that I receive a lot of questions about mainnet will be or not be, because yes, we reported a lot of times about our development results, but not. We haven't said it's enough or not. So right now I want to tell you that it's almost everything ready for mainnet, including the block consensus. And over the next 7, maybe 10 days, we'll be making the final preparations, and we'll have tarball for audition. After that, we'll start the security audits, and accordingly, the start of the audit will be delayed by a week, maybe a little more. The audit will be last for 2 weeks, so we should fit in schedule for release. If the audit finds any vulnerabilities, we'll fix them and we'll try to find the way to launch mainnet without how to say it, to implement some workarounds to stay in schedule. It could make 1 week or 2 to fix, I think, everything, but it depends from. So we are generally really in schedule, but it could be shifted on the week, maybe a little more, but not for a month or 2. So don't worry. Anyway, if the audit finds no critical vulnerabilities, the mainnet will be launched on schedule like it's expected. So after the mainnet is started, the bridge will work. It will work one way for a while because of security reasons. So I want to say to be ready for maybe hard forks after launch if will be hacked or something like this. You should understand. I am thinking about some less probable events. I'm thinking about what we'll do if some critical flow, some critical breach happens. So I don't expect that. I expect that we'll launch everything in time, and will not happen anything bad. Demo of the breach is planned on early March, so you could test it on the with Ethereum and BSC testnets. Development of the breach and auctions, they by the way developing together, are now on the refactoring stage and on the way to finalization. It will be subsystem for it will be example of possible level 2 implementation, because it will have its local consensus for transition states between different blockchains. After the main network launch, you'll be able to earn from the VPN service and other services that will prepare for and hackathons also shifted on the March. And we'll publish a schedule today and tomorrow about hackathons. But beyond that, we are preparing rapid development dapps, something quick, something to develop quick, They will be simple but tasteful. I think it will kind of CDN or maybe some dedicated storage. I don't know. Right now we are investigating this. What will be the fastest? Um, and the parachains will not be connected at the start, and will connect them during post-release development, but they will be available. What does it mean? It means that there will be no interoperability between the parachains at the beginning, so you can't pay with cell token for service provided in CELLVPN parachain, for example. But you could directly use this exchange. Oh, I don't know how it looks like. If we'll have no interoperability, you could use directly Kel token inside CELVPN parachain and or exchange between them on core network. We'll think about how it looks like. Some of interoperability will keep in. Anyway, it's all about sharding. About sharding I will talk a little later. Also will be possible to use VPN service inside the core network with a fee for CELVPN as an author's fee, and it will be the example of the author's fee. Okay. Also, we have reduced the stake size for running a node to about 1000 cell, and stack size will reduce further. Okay. Our team is working 24 hours, 7 days per week to have everything released on time. However, the sharding can either be done before the mainnet or after mainnet. So we'll do an audit without sharding before mainnet, and after mainnet we'll do a second audit with sharding. Turn it on. By the way, mostly we need audit not for us, but it's more for enterprise usage, so that's why it's important to repeat it. Also, we'll measure TPS while sharding is on. Why it's so? Our technology is supposed to be used on weak hardware. So we have to test measurements where sharding is on achieve optimal TPS. Accordingly, the result of the TPS measurements will be published after the sharding is turning on. About this, I want to add one more. When you see requirements to be Solana node or Polkadot or something Cardano, you see high requirements. Why it's so? It's to provide high TPS inside one shard. It's you pay with this hardware for high TPS value for marketing of this project. So we don't want to get you to pay for so high TPS. And what I want to say, inside one shard, there is no requirement to have ultra high TPS. If it's so, if you need it, maybe better you will need your own parachain. Or connect your transaction with 2 or more shards. Inside one shard shouldn't be a lot of activity because this shard could be used, by the way, by a mobile application, and it has no terabyte drive to store all the shard, and it has no gigabyte broadwidth to download all this. So I expect the shard inside it will be not so big and it will have no high TPS. That's why we not measure TPS right now, because our ultra high TPS will be available only with sharding. That's the key. That's the key. Okay, let's talk now a short report on our development progress, and let's start from CELLFRAME SDK and consensus tone. Main changes are about consensus tone implementation. Yes, we took tone consensus and developed part of this tone consensus protocol logic. Made the consensus protocol run on timer. If the validator has a candidate for blocks, it generates a submit event. The validator sends its candidate block to all validator group addresses in submit event, and etc. and etc. Okay, I don't want to talk about all this protocol. I want only to say that we have modified it a little. So, for example, candidates are stored in our global database. GDB is dedicated database. I mentioned it on previous streams, and there are little other updates, and it will be interesting to compare it with stock tone and see what will work better. So on what else we have? Minkowski network. It's parachain for KLVPN. It's DAG-based network. It's fine-tuned and paid transaction tests are underway. New features. It's implemented saved blocks and read from files. It's all about SDK and similar to DEX and other things more related with Python SDK. Maybe you have seen we had a lot of workshops for last time. Okay, also were a lot of bug fixes, also will not list them all. We really fixed a lot of errors, most related with synchronization. Maybe you have seen that some people tried to receive tokens, faced some troubles. We are working on them. Thank you for help in development. And about dashboard application, new release branch. So Node is being ported to Android for the mobile version of dashboard. You could compile it for Android, it's working. Revoked fonts, fixed bugs, revoked certificates, wallet settings, dapps pages, it all was redesignated to fit the layout. So we added autocomplete commands in console tab. By the way, I recommend to use this tab because it has it opens a way to work with commands, and in commands we have a lot of features, much more than we have in UI. But that's for advanced users, of course. So in setting tabs, you could see now version number as you have requested. Logs loading indicator is updated. And the front-end team improved animation of network indicators on network panel, some more bug fixes. And in mobile interface of the dashboard, we developed wallets, transaction history, settings, network panel tabs. Most of everything is done for mobile version. And developers have implemented data storage models, the logic of tab separation, transition between them. Also implemented process of transferring tokens, creating wallets. We started to port build for Android, as I told before. Also Node is built as dynamic library. It's possible to build it as shared library. And just a little updated Java wrappers. Okay. Now let's move to the answers to some of the most interesting questions we received. And here's the first question: how will CELLFRAME solve the for the Web3 server problem? About Web3, I really don't like modern Web3 conception, because the server problem is a real problem, and I don't think that we need to stay with the current Web3 infrastructure. How it looks like: there is somewhere stored central servers, somewhere centralized DNS. We need to go away, and I think it will looks like a Brave browser, or maybe some extensions for Chromium, Firefox, and others. What I want to say, browsers should not work directly with internet, because modern internet is too centralized. So it should pass all these requests through CELLFRAME dashboard, then CELLFRAME node, and then it should balance between its uplinks to other nodes. So it will be no server. I don't accept in our network will be some centralized path. For example, imagine some dedicated CDN service or dedicated server. Dedicated web server, by the way, is the simplest variant of DApp, and such DApp will run at nearest time. It shouldn't take a lot of time to run it. So such dedicated application will run it not on the one server. It will solve this problem. So the key of this problem is deep integration with the CELLFRAME infrastructure. The second question. What is Cell vision and main targets for the 5-10 years duration? Develop our ecosystem, develop more and more dapps, and see how we could improve our protocol to compete with our competitors. As I mentioned before, it's oligopoly companies or corporations. It's Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and they have a lot of cloud services that we used to use, and we need to make the same but better. It's a super hard task to make better everything. We need to make better Google Drive. We need to make better Skype. We need to make better, I don't know, better YouTube, better Amazon Web Services. We need to make everything better, not just dedicated for users. It's usually it's not important. It's dedicated or not. He just want to store his photos with cats, and that's all. We need to make it simpler than Google Drive or Dropbox, and that's our goal. And that's all about cloud services. So 5 or 10 years. I think it will take 5 or 10 years. Let's talk about 5 years. So these years will spend on development of our ecosystem to compete with cloud service providers. The third question is what is your plan to make more traction and new partnerships in the near future? I don't think that I need to share it all details. Just want to say that we are planning press releases in a lot of medias. Not only first tier, but the second tier as well, but first tier is also on the way. We are working closely with influencers, and you could see in the last few weeks our token price rises some, and it continues for sure. That's result. It's not some random result, believe me. It's result of our marketing. Sometimes you don't see that we do something, but we really do, and you could see it by the token price movements. So the next question. Which other ecosystem are a priority to bridge CELLFRAME ecosystems with? It's Ethereum and Bitcoin. First priority is to bridge with them because they have a lot of liquidity, and mostly we need liquidity. The next question. In addition to the dashboard, it would be great to have a wallet browser extension ready to go out with the mainnet. Are you working on a browser wallet extension to interact with the CELLFRAME ecosystem? Good question. We have proposals from third party that they want to develop such a web browser by themselves. We were planning to develop at this year web browser. By the way, I don't like at all such think I prefer standalone application or super application, but if you prefer different, okay, no problem, we'll develop web extension. Just remember, when you use such wallet extension in browser, it's not so safe, because you use some third party to provide blockchain information. Yes, you sign it on your side, but you don't download all the blockchain on your side. So it's a way to compromise you, and I cannot advise to use this way. Really, better to download Celframe dashboard and use it. But will be a web browser if you want it. Okay, the next question: is it possible to have more details about 3 types of cell chain? System level cell chain, auction granted cell chain, community cell chain. System level cell chain will be one. It's a core network. If we'll talk about mainnet, yes, will be also a few test networks for on system level. But on mainnet, I think it will be only one core network or barebone. Maybe will be in future some more system level cell chains. Maybe some, for example, it could be standalone parachain for exchange, for decentralized exchange. I don't know. Auction granted cell chains, all the rest. Community cell chains, it's cell chains granted for free for projects that will be useful for everyone. So how it could forgot special word for this, all good projects or something like this. Okay, doesn't matter. The next question, number 7. Cell team holds only 950,000 tokens. When the team tokens are sold, what incentive does the team have to continue working on the project? How does the team finance the development of the project in the next 5 years when team tokens are sold? As I told before, we'll have 2 fees. One fee is the author fee. So when you use some service, you pay some small fee for its author, and another smaller fee you pay for network. It's a network fee. It paid for any service from any transaction. It also will be flexible, and it will go to the special fund. It will be community driving funds, and maybe it will be issued special governance tokens. Maybe you will use they will be issued for all who stake it, sell in pair, Ethereum or BNB for a long time. Such people could vote for spends, and I hope community will agree to fund development from these funds. Also, Celframe will issue a few more services, and it will be direct funded from author fee. That's our plan. Next question. In your previous AMA, you say TPS can vary based on the node speed region. In internet news spreading as Celframe has infinite TPS. As Celframe is for scalability and security, as far as I'm concerned, mirror chain technology for security is highly promising, but for scalability I am not convincing. Can you justify? Okay. First, about TPS, I told before. To measure TPS, we need first to overweight sharding, and that's why it depends from region, because local TPS depends from your local shard how fast it works. When we are talking about infinite TPS, it's about because we could have infinite infinite number. It's not infinite. A very big number of shards. So yes, we could say it's infinite. Because we could extend this number. So when we add more shard, because of peer-to-peer, we have no bottlenecks, and all TPS in different shards, they are summoned together, and we should have infinite TPS. That's what I was talking about. Okay, it was prepared questions. Now let's see what's going on to our chat on our translation, and see what the questions are you asking for. Okay. Do we have EVM? We are planning to implement EVM and WESM-based smart contracts, but it will be later. Okay. Hi Dmitry, which one is more beneficial, being a validator with say 3 times the amount of required tokens, or simply staking your CEL tokens? If you stake CEL tokens, you don't need to. You could use your LP. When you stake it, you receive LP tokens in exchange of your stake, and these LP tokens you also could use for validator. So you could stake your CEL and same time be validator on this stake. So you have no to select between them. You could take both. Okay, marketing after main. Guys, marketing is ongoing. See price charts. If we'll do nothing, they will fall down and lay down with no movements up. Really, believe me. If you see that it's moving up, there is marketing. Okay. What's the next question? In the current testnet, are there any public community validator node running? I haven't seen master node, but it's possible. One guy I remember were running. It said, if not, it's not better to first test it how chain will work with the public community validators node. You could join it, go to our development group, ask for some T-cell tokens and try to bring up your masternode. By the way, we start to test it more widely after consensus tone finishing, so we'll start widely test when our audition started, when our audition begin. Hi Dmitry, when will the tax be removed from the pancake swap prayer? It's still in discussion. I think we'll reduce it, but it should be common decision with team, and they still discussing it. So will there still be BNB Ethereum pools to buy Celframe once we go to mainnet? Yes, they will be, and all LP providers for this pool will be granted with scores on auction bidding, or they could use it for stake, for verificator, a lot of variants. Okay, now let's see what's going on in Twitch chat and answer on these questions. And no no questions no questions in Twitch chat. Most of them were on YouTube. Okay, it was great. Thank you for all your questions. It was nice to communicate with you. See you next time. We are CEL, we are here.